Hey, what's up? This is Kyle McGrath from the Night Owls coming to you once again from the Kronum lab with the Jet Sets Throwbacks recap from round 2. The Sets are coming off a round 1 letdown to the Workhorses and we're looking for their first W, while the Throwbacks took care of the Limelights to start the season on a winning note. Jim Rizzo got it started early for the T-backs, scoring 9 points in the first, all from the flex, giving his team the early advantage. Steve Botta kept the ball rolling with his in-and-out four-pointer from the wedge, on top of leading the backs with 3 saves in the frame. The Jet Sets shifted the flight plan midway through the period when Matt Parsons proposed, slipping 2 rings on Rizzo en route to 21 in the period. The Throwbacks showed some old-school hustle to finish out the period, scoring 15 points in the final 5 minutes to cut the deficit to 1 at the break, making it 36-35 Jet Sets. It was Parsons again for the Sets, starting off the second period with a 3-pointer from the flex. The Throwbacks tightened up in net and started throwing their weight around on defense with some physical play. Mike Schneider took matters into his own hands offensively, torching the chamber for 15 points throughout the period. But the Jet Sets would not be outdone defensively, rallying behind 2 big saves from Scott Reimer, along with Matt Parsons' timely rejection on Mike Schneider. Jeff Regensburg's spin move gave a spark to the offense, making the Throwbacks defense look silly, hitting for 3 from the flex. He and co-captain Jordan Wells continued to shoulder the scoring load. Wells hit for 9 of his 18 in the game in the second frame and helped to maintain the Sets' marginal 7-point lead at the second horn. At the beginning of the third, who else but Matt Parsons jump-started the Sets' offense, scoring from the flex and getting fancy with the behind-the-back pass to Nick DeLuca, who hit for 3 of his 7 points in the period. Not only did he have the offense going, but he had the defense going with 3 saves. Steve Botta continued his dominance in net, making 5 saves in the third period to keep the contest within reach. That's when Captain Joe Farino kicked it up a notch, scoring 2 from the wedge and slipping the penalty shot by to finish the 5-point play. Farino kept it rolling, hitting another 2 from the flex and flashing the T-backs logo, letting the Sets know who they were dealing with. A late push from Nick Ferrero and Mike Schneider capped off the rally, connecting from the flex and evening up the game at the end of regulation. Bonus time, anyone? The first overtime went back and forth with both teams connecting to keep the game gridlocked throughout the extra frame. As time was expiring, Nick DeLuca came up with a monster save to send it into double OT. The game remained tied at 107-107. The T-backs came out throwing on the arms of Jim Rizzo and Mike Schneider to give them the slight advantage to begin the frame. But late in the second OT, off a Jeff Regensburg miss, Nick DeLuca had a chance to turn garbage into gold, but came up empty-handed on an attempted dunk. The Sets kept peppering Botta with shots as he came up with his 12th save of the contest, but they finally slipped one by to cut the deficit to 3. With minimal time remaining, the Jet Sets down 3, they had no choice but to foul. In order to prevent the clock from starting, they allowed the penalty shot to go in, and they were going to roll the dice on hitting the 6-point ring shot. Nick DeLuca cleared the ball to a waiting Jeff Regensburg. With only 3 seconds left to tie the game, he couldn't get a shot off as time expired. The Throwbacks edged the Sets in 2 overtimes, 116-110. For more stats and stories, visit Kronum.com.